Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and this is my top 10 figures of 2022. And no, this is not the 10 best figures of 2022. This is the top 10 figures that I purchased that I like of the year. So, as many of you know, if you've watched the videos, you know I'm very heavy into G.I. Joe. So, there may be a few G.I. Joes out there. But anyway, before we start, you know the drill. Take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever I do a video. So anyway, we're done with that. You subscribed, you've liked it, you've done all that stuff. So there will be some exclusions on this that some people may ask, like the G.I. Joe bat. Well, many of you got it this year. Me, I was one of the lucky ones. I think I got it December 22nd of last year. So that goes into last year. And when I was actually thinking about doing this video earlier in the year, about 6 months into the year, what I collect, I was looking at it going, I couldn't even do a top 10 because I haven't got 10 good figures that are worthy of a list or a title. There also will be no Super 7 on this. That probably won't be a big shocker for anyone that watches my channel. As you know, most of their stuff is garbage. By most, I mean all of it. Although I do still pick up some of it because sometimes they have some cool little things like a Gorilla Biscuits guy or a Circle Jerks guy or some unproduced G.I. Joe guy or whatever. So anyway, done with that, ragged on them enough. So anyway, what we're going to get into is what I picked up that I like. Again, it doesn't mean it's the best, and it doesn't mean there's not better figures. And hell, you may not even like it, and you may disagree, and that's cool because you know what? I want to see in the comments what you think are the top 10 figures that you actually got, and where you may disagree with me or maybe even agree. So anyway, let's get right into this. Oh, also, I will not be sitting in this chair the whole time. I will be traveling around my small but quaint toy home to go to where the figures are actually at because I'm spending a lot of time getting stuff ready to do my end of the year display video. So anyway, let's get into it. You guys have heard me talk enough, so wait, you're gonna hear me talk a lot more. You heard me ramble on here long enough. All right, coming in the 10th spot. Now this, I kind of went back and forth with, and to be honest, these figures may have been even higher. There may have been a few more. And I went back and forth between Gargoyles Bronx and Hudson. And people may have looked at Hudson and was like, it's pretty bland, but I really like the figure. But in the end, I came up with number 10 as being Bronx. Now he's just a giant gargoyle dog, but he is an awesome giant gargoyle dog. And my Bronx from the original run, that's the only gargoyle figure that I still have. This guy comes with, two different head sculpts. Comes with this one too. The opening mouth, big old mouth. It comes with a big old honking thing of meat that everyone thought that it was wood, but it's actually meat. And then he comes with the draped wings for Goliath. Now, I gotta say, one of the biggest issues is not the size of the wings for the gargoyles, but it's that some of them tend to break. They don't want to hang down. That's why there's not more gargoyles on this list, and this is why he actually came in 10th. But that was number 10. Wonderful figure. Let's move on. Now, number 9 on the list, and I know what you're saying right now. Are those Santa Yodas in the background? No heathen, man. It's Christmas time. Stuff's been moved around. Well, some stuff. Number 9 on the list is the Action Force Blowback. Now, I got to a point I like a lot of the Valaverse figures, but there is something about this figure, even though for the most part he's the exact same as so many. And as you can see, I got him in a stand, so he sits up on steps. And I don't have a problem, but this guy's face sculpt, and I have had my complaints about the Valaverse face sculpts in the past. These look really good. More than anything, what got me is the fading hair in the back going into his neck. It looks like a real haircut, but from his weapon, his assault rifle, just the way that he's posed, everything that he comes with. This guy deserved number 9. He may have even gone up a little bit higher, but again, this is my list. These are things that I like, and he may not even be the top Valaverse figure on this list, but once again, these figures are really nice, and as you can see, there's a display behind me that will be coming shortly. I'm short. There's no way that I get this guy up there without causing some sort of ripple where something ends up falling down, but hey, look at that. Boom, I did it. Didn't need sticky tack, didn't need a display, nothing. And you'll see that shortly. Anyway, let's move on to number 8. And number 8 on the list is a new entry for when I just got. But I just told you earlier, if we went with the first 6 months, I don't think I would have come up with 10 figures. Number 8 here is Camel. Actually, he's not even really displayed. I just wanted to put him with the Mode 2 display. I still got to do some other things with it. Anyway, I talked about him. Again, links to all the reviews will be in the description. You know, he comes with the Cobra Khan head. You make him Camel Khan. Oddly enough, had this guy not come out, I know a lot of people don't like it. I'm just going to mention really quick. Anti-Eternia He-Man would have actually been on the list. He would have probably snuck in at 10. There was something about that figure. I know people don't like him, but when you get him in hand, that black, it just pops. Anyway, back to Camel Khan. This guy really he had everything. As I mentioned before, Cobra Khan was my favorite Motu figure growing up. But this guy here, with his actual Cobra head, comes with this, blaster, everything that he came with, including a Cobra Khan head, in case you want him to be Cobra Khan, because you don't get the Cobra Khan release. This guy was going to make the list. I got to say that if you listen to me at all, listen to my reviews, you can probably figure out what figures are going to make my list. You should have known that he was going to be on it, even though I just got him within the past week or so. So anyway, that's it. Let's move on to the next one. So number 7 on the list, I have raved about these figures. I have talked about it on the live stream. I've told everyone, hey, you know what? You need to grab a couple of these. Grab one of them just to get them. They're just fun. And that is the Plunderling Captain Teel. This was my first one that I got. And sometimes I guess there is something special about your first. I didn't grab the other heads. Why I did that with Bronx, I'm not even sure. It's hard to grab everything that these things come with. Again, that's why I'll drop the reviews so you can take a look. But anyway, Captain Teel here is absolutely awesome. He's super cool. They're just fun little figures. And they got the magnetic heads. You see that little magnet there? It just drops there. So I don't have to worry about hats falling off. Hasbro, Mattel, all of you, get with the program. This guy's just cool. I mean, he's Captain, he's Teel, as you can see. I got the other ones that I have, the other ones. And again, they're cool enough that they get to stay with the Christmas spirit. Of course, you see the rest of the stuff. So you kind of see, I integrate some of this stuff into my Christmas display because, as I said, I'm not Grinch. Although some people may disagree. But anyway, Captain Teel, he definitely was going to hit that list. If you guys didn't figure that one out, you should have. So anyway, let's move on to the next. I think now we're starting getting into the most obvious choices. All right, so we're back in front of the Yoda Santa Yoda, whatever you want to call him. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to spend a lot of time here. There'll be a little veering off. But anyway, this next guy, number 6, I don't know why I put up 2, number 6 on my list is another Valaverse. And I struggled. I'm like, should I keep him there? But from the moment I got this guy, he was my favorite Valaverse figure. And technically, he still is. And that is Trigger. And I want you guys to understand that this here, that's a skateboard that I modified to be a shelf. So it's not flat. And I know it shocks people that you can stand figures where there's concave and kicktails and everything. I'm going to get off my soapbox there. So here we go. This is Trigger. I think he's an absolutely amazing figure. I'll drop a link to the review just like all the other ones. You can hear what my complaint is. And you guys know it. It's the shoulders. But that's about it. This is a true to life operative. He's a special for. I mean, you look at this guy, and if you've ever, learn how to talk. If you've ever watched SEAL Team, you'll know like this guy fits perfectly in with how the SEAL Team looks and all that different stuff. I think he looks awesome. He's got the saw machine gun. He's got his sidearm. Again, they do a wonderful job the way they integrate everything. I love the fact that he doesn't have like a jacket or anything. He's just a badass in a wife beater. We'll call it a tank top because I don't think this guy's a wife beater. I think this guy's a pretty damn good guy, other than when he's mowing down the bad guy. So as you can see, he gets put right back into the display like all the other figures. So that's it with Trigger as our number 6. Now let's get to the top 5. So number 5 here is the Emperor Serpentor. Yes, I'm kneeling and I'm struggling if I should actually pull him off because his stand here has a lot of sticky tack to make sure that this thing does not fall backwards because it holds it up fine. But if you don't have enough sticky tack on it, it kind of falls backwards. But you know what? It's the end of the year review. Let's take a look at it. If this is my top 10, I should probably show you what he's like when we get him off. All right, so understand, this is what I do for my channel. This is what I do for you guys. I pulled him off. Look, there's even some sticky tack that's left on him. But it doesn't matter. He's going to be going right back on that display. So I can do my end of the year classified Valaverse display. But anyway, some of you are probably saying, how can this guy be number 5? Again, because it's my list. I never even liked Serpentor growing up. As amazing of a figure as this is, wasn't for me, but they knocked it out of the park. But this guy, there was no way he wasn't going to be on the list. He's huge. He is a one-time sculpt. So I'm sure they'll do another Serpentor in another pack without an air chariot would be my guess. But the way they nailed it with the 50 cows here that come off, the mouth that opens with another gun, and these teeth that come down that allow you to even close it if you want to, all the way to the detail of the spinning motor, the jets. But then you have this cape with wonderful scaling on it. This guy just is absolutely awesome. You can't say really anything negative about him. But he does come in at number 5 because, in my opinion, there are 4 that I just liked a little better. But again, my list, not yours. You do your own list. You tell me what you think. Hey, we all got opinions, man. You know what they say. They're like a-holes. And, well, most of you should know I am one. Now, coming in at number 4 on this list is not just one figure, but it is 2 figures because this was a 2-pack. And that is our 40th anniversary He-Man and Skeletor pack. Now, obviously, the figures are not in there, but it comes with this wonderful display. And yes, these figures are essentially exactly what we've gotten in the Masterverse, but I'm trying not to spill everything. If you guys are watching the live stream, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you have Skeletor. All the weapons are actually made of metal, not just of vac metal. Skeletor has this really cool jaw that opens and closes. So if you want to do some sort of film animation, you can make him laugh. But he's really cool, completely pinless. And they give pretty good articulation. I'm not going to try and stand him again. Also comes with the cool ring. And when you open it up, that is the 40th anniversary. And if you're a small guy like me, technically you can wear it as a pinky ring. I hope this thing comes off. But anyway, I leave the ring up here with the figures because it's cool. And then you have your He-Man again. Here he has a metal shield, metal sword, metal axe. But he comes with his flocked underwear, his flocked boots. Honestly, super cool. Put his, sword back here. This is really, for me, one of the few San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that I had to have. See, he's going to fall because now I moved him, so I got to set him up again. But anyway, that's number 4, and it's 2 figures, but it was a set. And it's a set you can't break up. But everything about it, from the look of him, the look of Skeletor, this look of Skeletor. Oh, I lost my breath. I couldn't breathe. It had to go on there because this was one that I had to have. And I jumped on Mattel Creations the moment it came out, and I was just like, I gotta have that one. So let's move on now. Number 3 is another favorite of mine. As a matter of fact, I have 3 of them, and then there will be a repaint, at least one repaint that we know of coming. And that is the Crimson Guard. Now, I'm just going to grab this one. And again, when I do my video, you'll understand this guy is about to kill Timber. That's why he has a sword up. He's reaching for his pistol. But there he has his assault rifle with a bayonet on it. And this guy's about ready to do some damage to Timber. But I'm going to tell you something right now. It's probably not going to happen because there are some strategic plans back there to keep that from happening. But anyway, we got to talk about this figure. And right down to just the color, everything other than he doesn't have a red backpack. This is what I wanted in a Crimson Guard. They knocked it out of the park. I had no issues bending him, pinless joints, just marvelous, marvelous figure. By far the best army builder that they have made. And what else can I say? But that's what you want in a figure. You just want something that's going to stand out like nothing else. So if you haven't picked one up, if you don't have any on pre-order, you better get them because even though I think they're going to be plentiful, this is one you're going to want to army build. So now let's move on to number 2. All right, once again, we're going to be standing in front of Santa Yoda. And again, this guy here, he comes in at number 2. I didn't have him as a kid. I had the original. I had the non-repaint because this other one was a foreign release. So I had no affinity for him. And let's be honest, as awesome as the figure it is, what makes this figure absolutely amazing and almost number 1 is his face sculpt. And I have mentioned this before, that Tiger Force Outback, the face sculpt, maybe the best one that Hasbro has ever done. He looks absolutely awesome. And I've seen pictures of Outback, the standard release with the red hair. It just doesn't look as good. It doesn't look bad, but it's this white, gray hair that he has, the beard, his little Cobra Kai bandana that he's wearing, the weapon that he comes with. I know people have had complaints about it, but it looks very similar to what he had. It's got the strap. I love the strap. That was always one of my favorite things on a figure, even though they almost always broke. He's got his flashlight. You can store his shovel on it. This guy looks awesome. And the crazy, stupid, big tiger in orange, thinking this guy's going to be in the wilderness, doesn't even bother you because you look at him and you're like, he's such a badass. He could be wearing neon, like a neon at light, and he still wouldn't have a problem defending anyone, fighting anyone. Now, let me tell you, this guy here, I'm going to show you. I know all we hear is complaints. All right? They always complain that, hey, you know what? I can't stand my Hasbro stuff. They all fall down. You know who you are. Most of you, your name starts with B's. But this guy here, as you can see, I'm standing him up here. no problem. And that's on the tail or the nose, so it's on an angle. How is that possible? No stance. He never falls. No sticky tack. See, I'm going to get off on a rant, but that's another reason why this guy comes in at such a high mark. I have no problem standing him. I keep hearing all this issues about people standing. Well, guess what? Learn how to pose your figures a little better. That's all I have to say. Anyway, now that I went off on my rant, you knew it was one of them was going to come. You knew it, you know. You can only watch YouTube crybabies for so long before you lose it. Anyway, some of you may be saying, I'm a crybaby. So be it. That's life. Anyway, let's get on to number one. And I'm not sure if everyone's going to agree with it, but hey, my list, my favorite toys. This is my number one toy of the year. And my number one figure of the year. And as you might imagine, as you can see, I'm standing in front of Santa Yoda. He's probably a G.I. Joe. And that's right. Sometimes doing more isn't more, but doing less is more. Sometimes just making the figure exactly right, the way we want to see him, is exactly what we want to see. And this figure, in my opinion, they knocked it out of the park. The moment I saw it, I pretty much said, this is my figure of the year. But it also goes back to my childhood, to what one of my most favorite figures were. And that is right down here, Storm Shadow version 1, which technically is version 2 for the classified. And as you can see, I pulled him away, and he was standing all by himself, and Snake Eyes is standing, and amazing how that works. I know, kind of went out on a rant, but that's what happens when you get me in my ADHD mind going all over the place. But anyway, let's get to this figure here. And he's wonderful. They hit him out of the park. I like to say he's 100%, but he's not, because they didn't give him nunchucks. Lenny, why? Where are my nunchucks? All right, that was a very valid part of Storm Shadow version 1, but I know there's a few things that are different with the gloves and different things like that. But he does have the long sword, and then he has the short sword. And if you had Storm Shadow, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're more like knives later on, but long sword, short sword. He's got his bow and arrow. They made a compound bow, which I'm perfectly fine with. It seems to make more sense. He's got an arrow that comes out really nice, and it integrates into the backpack, so you can't even tell, but you can see which one is the one that comes out because it has the black going right through it. But this figure, he just nails it. He does come with a hood. I don't really like him with the hood, but everything from the throwing stars on the front to the way the sash or the harness goes over that's going to hold on the backpack, everything can be fit on him. He is absolutely 100% the best figure in my opinion. And hey, you know what? You're allowed to have a different opinion. I'm cool with that. You know what? Because we're all a bunch of toy fans here. So this is my number one. Gonna set him right back with his Arashikage brother, Snake Eyes. And as you can see, there they are, just standing perfectly fine. No issues. And I cannot wait, as I'm trying to adjust this, I can't wait to go through everything and show you guys the classified and Valaverse display. It's crowded right now. I'm going to have to do a lot, but I'm looking forward to it. So that's it. That is my top 10 figures of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do enjoy doing this stuff for you guys. I know a lot of you guys will ask, hey, you know what? What's your top 10? Are you going to do this? And the truth is, I'm no different than any of you guys. This isn't about money. This isn't about fame. I'm just willing to put myself on camera, and a lot of people aren't, and that's cool. I mean, but it's fun to have this outlet to talk to other toy collectors, other people that are just, they're in the community. They want to hear what someone else has to say and see if their opinion is anything like. And hey, you know what? Maybe they want to complain about a figure. And let's be honest, I'd say 95% of us, if we do have a significant other, they don't care. They're going to roll their eyes and go like, they don't buy the figure. That's not an option for us. Now, is it? It's not an option for us because we're toy collectors and it's something we enjoy, the passion that we have. Listen, I know we have other passions. If you guys have probably noticed, there's a few skateboards around. Listen, skateboarding is my number one of all. But at almost 47, collecting toys is way easier on the knees and everything else than skateboarding. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna wrap this up. I keep seeing the glare in my eyes. You know the deal. And I had almost made it through all those clips without being interrupted by a dog or a kid or something else. But here it is, number 10, wrapping it up. And yes, I did get interrupted, but it wasn't his fault. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell anyone that I was doing this, but you can just hear the walking and then the crashing down the stairs. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hey, listen, if the video didn't end like that or didn't have it somewhere in the middle, would it really be a Punk with Toys production? Let's be honest. There always seems to be something that happens, whether it be my dog, my kids, the neighbor, who knows. Hey, this is life, man. I'm not producing a movie, so I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I mentioned, make sure you hit that like button. Again, that pushes it out. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification. This is the end of the year. So the next time that we do one of these will be the end of 2023, which hopefully I'll have a whole mess of toys. But let's be honest, we already got Sky Striker, the Hiss, and Skeletron that should be here. So you can probably guess those three will probably already be on the 2023 Toys of the Year top 10. So anyway, I'm out of here. You know the deal. Have a wonderful day. Happy toy hunting. And you know what? While you're here, take a look. Take a second and watch whatever video they want to show you right here.